I'm Motley Fool Canada Senior Analyst Nick Seifel, and this is the 5 Minute Major, here to make you a smarter investor in about 5 minutes. Today, we're discussing Nvidia's Q4 2023 earnings, where the AI chip giant continues to blow past market expectations. My guest today is Motley Fool Canada Chief Investment Officer Iain Butler. Iain, thanks for joining me.
Great to be here. We're going to toss our 2 cents into the ocean of information that's out there, right?
That's right. Everybody is talking about Nvidia this morning as one of the already highest valued companies in the US stock market. It's now up another 15% intraday after reporting another monster earnings result for the fourth quarter. Revenue surged 265% year over year and 22% quarter over quarter to $22.1 billion. Meanwhile, adjusted earnings per share increased 486% year over year and 28% sequentially to $5.16 per share. The company doesn't expect that growth to slow down anytime soon either. Guidance for the next quarter calls for $24 billion in revenue, another 234% year over year jump. Iain, just read those numbers out to you. Thoughts hearing those and the stock's reaction here in the market today?
I think that's about the fifth time that I've heard or read those numbers, and every time I just continually shake my head. And I think my blink reaction is just that. Like, we're not talking about those are numbers that are usually reserved for sort of a microcap situation where a company's sort of just hitting its stride in the growth phase of its life. This is a company that's been around for years. It's a massive market capitalization, I think $1.7 trillion. And I think when you compare these numbers to sort of its peers in that north of trillion-dollar market cap world, I mean, these numbers are just unheard of. So it's crazy. It's crazy how Nvidia has hit its stride here in the past 12 months. Again, I mean, it's been a very successful company throughout its life, but it's just finding new ways to be magical, I guess.
Right. This next leg of growth really has come out of nowhere with the rise of AI, ChatGPT, and the like. So if you look at these numbers here, really hard to find much to argue with. But Iain, if you had to make a bearish argument for Nvidia right now or raise any concerns, what would those be right now?
Yeah, and I want to sort of emphasize again, this is a company that's clearly got some magic cooking. So great company. But as investors, we then have to figure out, like, there's plenty of great companies out there, but they don't always mean that they're great stocks to own. So the question becomes, is this from here a great stock to own? And I think, I mean, if it keeps it is priced to continue cranking out numbers like it just printed, and that's tough to do. I think I came across some rough calculations that were published in the Financial Times about a week ago, and to justify Nvidia's current share price, which is around $770 US, the author or the person that published the numbers sort of figured it needs to print about a 55% operating profit margin, which is sort of reserved for monopolies in the world. Very, very rare that that's the case, or at least on a sustainable basis. And sales have to grow by tenfold, up from about $60 billion a year to more than $600 billion a year. And that's in an industry that had sales of 527 billion last year. So Nvidia essentially has to become what the semiconductor industry was over the past year to justify its current share price. So there's very, very lofty expectations built in. And I think we can frame it another way. Another interesting stat, Nvidia, and it's not the only company that's worth 1.7 trillion, but Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, and what's the other one?
Apple.
Apple, right. So these four individual companies on their own are worth more than the entire S&P 500 energy sector. And so that's a sector that's comprised of 23 companies. Some of the biggest, I mean, there are a lot of name brands within that sector. And one company alone, just to pick one as an example, ExxonMobil, printed $36 billion in net income over the past 12 months. Nvidia's net income was less than just that one company. So Nvidia's priced like the whole sector, whereas one company alone in that sector is earning essentially more money per year than Nvidia. So again, it just says that a lot of growth is priced into Nvidia's stock, and it's a tricky it's a tricky sort of circle to square, if you will, when it comes to investing in the company.
Yeah, that's right. Nvidia continues to beat expectations quarter after quarter. However, those expectations keep marching higher. The company is going to have to run even faster to keep up, and sooner or later, it's going to be challenging to maintain this type of growth. However, one of the best stocks on the market, really powering a new wave in technology. So, not a company I would be in a rush to reduce my exposure to anytime soon. Anyhow, that's all our time we've got left for this minute of the 5-minute major. We'll see you next time. Fool on.